You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Oh, there's our entry.
Yeah. Entry or intro?
Intrigue. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV SmackDown After Show. I'm your host, Ric Drasin. And after I introduce everybody, there's a couple things I want to say. I have next to me Christian Rosenberg.
Yes, sir. Hello.
It's so nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
It is fantastic.
And then across from me, I have the Ballard sisters.
That's right.
Who have just come back from a modeling shot for, I think it was Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did all the underwear models.
Yeah.
I bet you look pretty good. I mean, you still got the tank top on with the boobies in it.
Yeah, he did the gay section. I did the straight section.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, he did. Yes.
Is this available online?
Well, it's going to come out in the magazines.
Out?
Yeah.
It's going to come
out.
Canadian
Out.
accent. This is our last show.
Yeah.
For AfterBuzz, because I believe they're moving to Friday night, right?
We are moving it to Friday nights right after SmackDown.
At
Can I
10
get a
o'clock?
hug?
Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Are you going to stay up that late?
I'm going to try.
Okay. That's
No
way past my
guarantees.
bewitching hour. but nonetheless, we've been here over a year and a half, and I've really enjoyed being on AfterBuzz. It's been a lot of fun, and been able to discuss wrestling, WWE, my history, the past, have wrestlers on here that are famous and legends, and bring it to you, which we really enjoyed. However, we're moving to different levels, and AfterBuzz has been nice enough to help me with my studio at home at Rick's Corner, and I'll be doing Rick's Corner 2, which is going to be all about pro wrestling and training and schools.
Awesome.
And my wrestling Rick's Corner 1 is about bodybuilding nutrition. So I have 2 shows.
Nice.
And so AfterBuzz is going to work with me on the second show, and I'll be able to just walk out my back door with a cup of coffee into my studio and just go from there.
You can do it naked
Nice.
too.
in my robe. Huh?
Do you have a pipe too? Yeah.
I have a pipe. I have a Hugh Hefner pipe.
Right. That's right. That's all I'm
He's got the
picturing.
bathrobe, he's got the pipe, he's good to go.
I had a magazine under my arm for the bathroom.
Hey, we're actually supposed to have a guest today, and he was going to replace this guy right here. We're going to send him over to the couch. It was going to be my little 4-year-old son, Brennan. But
That's right.
At the last moment, he declined and didn't want to go. I think it was like coming around nap time. So
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
And
I
they-
think Hot Wheels stopped him too.
that can do it. Mine like wrestling dolls.
yeah,
Randy Orton, Steve Austin,
yeah.
all those. So
I have a little, like, one of our students got him, like, for his 3rd birthday, like, got him a little wrestling thing, and it comes with John Cena and Triple H. And I'll ask him, Brendan, who's this? I'll go, John Cena. And then I'll for Triple H, I'll go, who's that? He goes, Dada. Because when he had, like, long hair and it looks kind of like me.
I show up Triple H to my grandson. I said, "Who's that?" He says, "Stephanie McMahon's husband."
Well, that's what he should be addressed as now, I guess, right?
The one, he worked his way into the company. He's on the payroll and in the money bank. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I had a hard time getting SmackDown on the other night because Time Warner has dropped a couple of channels, not being that one. So when I tuned in and recorded it and I started to watch it, it ended up being Triple H from Mexico. So all the Mexican wrestlers that I watched, I put WWE's names on them. So the matches I watched were all lucha, but they were still the same wrestlers from WWE as far as I can see. So who knows what the hell I'm talking about? I have no idea. All right, so listen, you have an itinerary?
I got a little itinerary. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, we had the show started with a recap, basically, of SummerSlam, where Daniel Bryan won the title. Triple H does the heel turn because he wants to do what's best for the company. And
It's best to be a heel.
Yeah, and he pedigrees Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton comes in and cashes in his money in the bank, and we have a new champion, a new face of the company, which leads Vicky Guerrero out to introduce Randy Orton.
The new general manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, the general manager of SmackDown. Trying to praise Randy Orton. She tries to run and hug him up the ramp, and Orton just gives her like a cold stare and just shake my hand.
Firm handshake.
Nice firm handshake.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be terrified if a Euro tried to run to hug me. And yeah, Orton comes in a mic. Pretty much, honestly, this promo was a lot of what we heard on Raw. Him saying, "I told you guys you would never see it coming with my cashing in." And now, now not only am I the WWE champion, but I am truly the face of the WWE.
And that he did not need Triple H's help.
He did not need Triple H's help. No,
absolutely
Now,
not.
Daniel Bryan came out, and then he cut a promo, and he spoke from the heart. Everything he said was true because we knew him. We wrestled him growing up. We trained with him over.
Up.
Well, not growing up, but
We're already up. Yeah, we wrestled him.
But
you're already grown.
yeah, full grown, and worked with him in New Japan. He used to sleep. He slept in his car,
Right.
He
slept in the dojo.
Yeah,
Isn't that what it takes to become a champion?
Yeah, he-
sleep
yeah,
in your car?
He definitely did all the sacrifices.
everything he said. He got staff one time.
I slept in my
it
car
too.
just to get a job as a teller at a bank.
Did you?
I slept in the parking lot. I was there before they opened to get the money.
Oh.
All right.
So yeah, I thought that was like a really heart. He was speaking from the heart, and because we know him, we were like, yeah, everything he's saying is true. So
it was an interesting mix because he was saying all these things from the heart, but then he just kept going back to, Randy Orton, you're so pretty.
that was probably
he kept saying it
written
over and
for
over
him.
and over again.
The writers said this is what we want. That's
Yeah.
because he looked really uncomfortable saying that, but everything else he looked very comfortable saying.
So yeah, it kept kind of going back and forth from comedy to serious, comedy to serious, comedy to serious.
Yeah, I thought it was a good
I
segment.
think you
It's
just
long.
described wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a nutshell, that's wrestling.
And the Three Stooges, right? Yeah. And Popeye.
Yes.
I like Orton. I do like Orton.
But yeah,
In
then
what kind of way?
this segment,
Very much every way.
the segment eventually ends with Daniel Bryan demanding, because he gets a rematch, being that he was the former champion. He wants it tonight on SmackDown.
Tonight. And
Randy Orton's like, you got to wait till Night of Champions. And, of course, the crowd did not appreciate that.
No.
And then Daniel Bryan gave him a nice drop kick in the face.
Yeah,
And-
after countering his RKO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
so-
Randy Orton went to walk away. That was actually well done because I didn't see that coming. He went to walk away because he still had the belt in his hand. He turned around, then he went for the RKO. Daniel Bryan pushed him. He held the ropes, and then Daniel Bryan ran, drop kicked him over the top rope.
In the mush. Right in the mush.
With the
Like he
title
said he
still
would.
laying in the ring
Yeah, he
with
said he-
Daniel Bryan.
Said he'd kick him in the face.
Okay,
and he did.
now here's where I have a little bit of a problem here.
What
Now,
is your
next
problem?
Next segment. Okay.
Okay.
So Vicky Guerrero is on the phone. Guerrero is on the phone, right? And Wade Barrett comes in and says to put him in a match.
He's the bare knuckles champion.
Right. Put him in a match with Daniel Bryan, and he'll make sure he never causes them problems again. But we've already seen this.
Yes.
We already saw it, and Daniel Bryan beat him clean, right?
Multiple times.
Yeah. So, what, me even watching as a fan, how am I going to get behind him to say, oh, yeah, he's really going to put a beating to him this time?
Maybe
Because it
this time.
never happened.
That was my main issue with this week's SmackDown. It was a lot of matches that we've seen before from beginning to end.
Oh, yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of them are like that, though. We've seen them over and over. It's, you can go through every match. It's the same one you saw last week.
Yeah, and
pretty much.
the worst part is if you paid for this on a pay-per-view, you bought the pay-per-view, and then the match comes on, like we were mentioning last week, how it comes on the next week, the same two wrestlers. It's like, hey, I just paid for a pay-per-view.
pay for
Now
it?
they're giving it to everyone for free?
Yeah.
What happened?
Kind of like some things that women do.
Yeah, so in the end, Vicky then acknowledges that, okay, wait, Barrett, you're going to get him again, and this time we'll be in a steel cage.
Yeah. Oh, in a steel cage match. Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No escaping.
Those aren't what they used to be either.
No, they're not.
And then we got
We get a match finally.
we finally got a match about
Got a
20,
match.
20 minutes or so in.
17.
So it was 17? That was the number?
Yeah, roughly around 17.
And
That's usual.
This match really intrigued me when the guys came out. Curtis Axel versus Cody Rhodes. And the fact because
Sans a mustache.
sans the without the mustache, yeah, because Cody, other than Daniel Bryan, has probably been on the biggest babyface role over the last several weeks, and now he's going with Curtis Axel, who's
been
the guy
getting
who's
heel
kind of
role,
starting
yeah.
a feud with CM Punk, so he's kind of taking a bigger stage with that Intercontinental title,
Right.
and they have a fairly competitive match, but Curtis Axel goes over clean.
Yeah. Well, both are second generation wrestlers. Coach
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty.
Dusty
son
Rhodes.
Son of a plumber.
The son of a plumber.
Right, son of a son.
third generation.
Son of a son.
Wrestling was just a pipe dream to him.
That's right.
I like that.
If only I had a rim shot.
SmackDown is going to miss you, Rick.
Yeah.
They had some good chain to start. You don't see that a lot in matches. I thought that was kind of good. A rush chain, I will say that, but I know they have time constraints, so they can't really draw that out very much. I like the springboard drop kick by Rhodes. That was that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And one thing I will say, I will critique this. He said the exact same thing last week. Cody Rhodes punched him in the face, square in the face, 3 times, went to whip him out the ropes. He reversed, and then Axel reversed it.
And
those punches meant nothing.
Do they even listen to what I say?
No.
I mean,
Why does
my word mean nothing?
No selling at all. You hit the face, you feel it.
Yeah, 3 times. If he hit him once and then whipped him, like it just shocked him like a jab, I could see that. But you hit somebody 3 times, and then they're able to reverse you. It just it kills what you just did.
Because it's Superman.
Yeah.
You know, there was a nice. I used to see Al Snow do this, like a variation of this where
Osno?
Al Snow, yeah.
Al Snow.
I will snow.
Osno.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes whipped Curtis Axel into the buckle, and he just slid to revert, and he didn't go into the buckle. He just slid and then got up, and then, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah. Were you guys surprised at all that Axel won this match clean with not a DQ finish or
no? Because when you're going up against like CM Punk, I mean, that elevates you. Who's Cody Rhodes going up against?
Well, he's still feuding with Sandow in the World Heavyweight Title picture with the Money in the Bank picture.
Sandow's a mid card.
We've seen a couple of matches like that in the past few weeks where it's just been a roll up out of nowhere and it's been a clean win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he got a distraction, like Paul Heyman distracted him.
It wasn't much of one, but
it was just so that he hit the ropes.
Heyman started going up the steps.
Yeah, and then he went and did his finisher, but he still hit him with his finisher. It's not like Paul Heyman held his feet or anything like that. It was after he hit him with the finisher, he just pinned him. So.
Then we had a little after match interview.
Yes,
Paul Heyman got on the mic.
He's not in just pain, but he's in agony.
Right.
And the agony is a direct result of the actions of CM Punk.
Right.
Just pretty much talking about how instead of accepting his defeat at SummerSlam, Punk apparently went crazy and went off the rails and snapped and attacked Curtis Axel on Raw.
Right.
Are you intrigued by this?
I'm a little curious, Rick, on something.
He's just staring at me. He's gazing at me.
Maybe you could answer this question: is since you were watching the Hispanic version of it, who was Cody Rhodes in AAA, and who was Curtis Axel?
I couldn't tell. They all had masks on.
Oh, they had masks. Okay,
and they had a female with a mask, so they were just a 6-man tag, and 1 came in, 2 rolled out, 4 more came in, 3 went out, 8 ran down the ramp, and 12 left.
Sin Cara was in every match on the show.
And the lights dimmed, and everybody ate popcorn and went home.
And then when the guy went walking up to the top rope, they showed the fans, and someone was blowing the horn, and then they go back to the ring, and something had already happened.
That reminds me of a guitar player when they show him on TV and he's playing like this. They're showing this hand. I want to see what's going on over here.
Right,
the cameraman's always over here. Or a guy plays a lead and he goes to the drummer. You do the same thing in wrestling. You want to see something and they're showing a fan. Let's see the move.
Right.
The move already came and it's over with.
My camera was on the Ballard Twins for that whole time you were talking.
That's
good. There you go. Well, you know what? We just lost probably 30 or 40 viewers.
Such disrespect.
From that.
Rick's in tears here. He's weeping. For goodness sake.
Steve, I'm not done with you, brother.
Brother.
And one thing that I think Cody Rhodes' shirts that had the mustache, now that he shaved them, they're 50%.
Now he needs a new shirt.
Off.
Well, they should be like 80% off at this point.
Because they want to just get them out. They're like, his mustache is gone. Let's get the mustache shirts out.
Just toss them to the crowd in between commercials.
They probably actually shoot them out during commercials.
Yeah, like the T-shirts they don't need.
Yeah.
Or like someone that was just released, they'll start shooting the T-shirt out.
Sure. Those are giveaways.
Yeah. So that promo ends with Axel challenging CM Punk to a match on Monday Night Raw.
Monday. Yeah, well, but why are you getting that match if that's supposed to be geared toward? Isn't that going to be geared towards a pay-per-view?
That's the rumor. I mean, that seems to be what would make sense.
Right.
And then they're going to do it on. Well, we'll see how far it goes on TV. But
Right. Not very.
No.
Not very. That's my prediction. Okay, second match we've got Big E with AJ.
That didn't sound creepy at all.
No, not at all.
That wasn't meant to.
No. against Dolph Ziggler, who my little boy thinks looks like my uncle, his Uncle Mark, who's my older brother, because he looks like an old burned out rocker, according to him.
Dolph Ziggler's an old burnt out rocker.
Well, he's got that. He looks young, but I mean, he's gonna look like that probably in
like
30
20 years.
Like he's gonna look like Ricky Morton does now. You ever see Ricky Morton? I mean, Ricky Morton still has the same haircut, but I mean, he looks like he's 100
and no teeth. I saw him.
Yeah.
This man, I thought Big E overall looked very good in this match.
He looked very vicious. Now, here's a little concern that I have. Like, I know what they were trying to do, but usually the roles are reversed in something like that, where instead of the heel attacking the babyface like that, the babyface would go off on the heel and then let the referee hold him back and then go off on him, and then the heel would turn around. Well, they kind of did it opposite because, I guess he's upset because
AJ's
Ziggler. Well, Ziggler had beaten him cleanly already.
Yeah,
so I guess that's like the story on it. But usually when you see something like that, the babyface is very upset at the heel and just goes crazy and attacks him like that. But Big E did look very vicious when he did it. He was hitting him and giving him the business.
I haven't seen him do very much, but I understand he's really good.
For a guy as strong as he is, he's actually very quick. He's got a lot of speed for a guy that big.
Yeah, the only thing that he's so strong, but the way he bases people, like he doesn't launch people like you would think. Like, he'll throw someone up and they just kind of like, I don't know if it's if it's a problem with basing or like maybe he doesn't want to really throw somebody up because he could probably throw someone up into the ninth row. I don't know, but he when he throws people. Well, actually, Dolph Ziggler got some height, but I saw him in a previous match before go to launch somebody up, and the guy he didn't even go over his head. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. Big,
started with
strong
the
guy.
Pearl Harbor attack, which was odd because it's not December 7th. So odd that happened.
They couldn't call it a Pearl Harbor because it's not Pearl Harbor.
Do you know what month it is?
It's right now.
Yeah.
It's August. Yeah.
Okay.
He had to think about it.
He's like, is this a trick
He'd ask
question?
you right now.
The answer's 4.
All right.
Ziggler eventually counters out of the big ending with the zigzag and gets to win, and AJ is pissed.
Right, starts screaming.
And
She did punch him right in the face to leave.
Yeah, she did.
That was pretty good.
That was
a good false.
But I mean, this didn't really advance anything.
No.
This is pretty much exactly what happened at SummerSlam.
Right.
And I do have one. I know the fans are probably going to get on me for this, but hey, think about like American Idol. If American Idol, everybody always said the greatest things. That that was the greatest performance I've ever seen. I mean, who would watch that?
There's a reason why that Simon is a millionaire and he's dating he's having he impregnated a married lady. There's a reason for all of that.
Because he can.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I will say negative that Dolph Ziggler did, he rarely makes mistakes, but he dead sold on one of the kickouts where he just laid on his back and Biggie had to actually pick him up and then get him in a chokehold, for the hope spot. Yeah, whenever you kick out, you always want to start to build up your base. You never want to lay there dead because then you got to be moved around. You got to be carried around. If you start to work your way up, he was already sitting up. He just clamps a hold on right there. He takes away one extra step.
Right.
So that was like the only negative thing that I'll say because Dolph Ziggler rarely makes a mistake. That's what I'll point it out. So, okay, start those negative comments now.
But it
How
was,
dare you say such negativity about Dolph
it was
Ziggler?
good because it was fairly short, and it was basically like Big E started beating him up. He attacked him before the bell, and then right when the bell rang, he charged him, and then Dolph reversed it and got a little steam going, and then Big E cut him off and did a couple things, and they had a good false in there, and then they went right for the finish. So it was quick and to the point, and very entertaining.
Where would you guys rank like Dolph's drop kick if you compare it with other drop kicks of like guys right now?
Oh, he's way up there.
Yeah.
I mean, because he always gets a good slap on it, and he always gets good height. He kicks him right in the face every time.
It's a 10.
So
It's a 10.
It's a 10, yeah.
Definitely a 10. I mean, he can.
Oh, I thought you said it's his tan.
No, he gets up there. I mean,
The tan is what does the drop kick. Yeah. No.
He'll have that same tan 20 years from now, and the same hair.
Oranger, though.
Yeah.
The same hair.
Rick, can you do a drop kick like that?
No.
Still?
Oh, come on.
Nope.
You could. I bet you could.
Not with this leg.
Could you take the leg off, maybe? And
Then I can do it.
okay. All right.
Attach it to my arm.
Christian and Alberto Del Rio, another SummerSlam rematch.
We not only a SummerSlam match,
And
but
from like a few weeks ago on SmackDown,
we've
too.
already seen it like I think 2 weeks
Several
on
times.
SmackDown.
And it was also on Raw. This was the 4th or 5th time, either on TV or pay-per-view, they've had this match in the last month.
How could they not know that and they keep showing it?
I think they have very
Gets
good.
good ratings.
They have
and
good
say, hey,
chemistry.
Yeah, they work
I think
very
they
well
have
together.
They
They
have great
do.
chemistry. Did you notice also Alberto Del Rio was sporting his black eye that he got in a bar fight after SummerSlam?
Yeah, he's still smart. And then in the match, he got a cut under the other eye.
Did he get in a bar fight?
Yeah.
What happened?
Him and Drew McIntyre, I guess. From what I heard, the reports are that Alberto Del Rio was talking himself up at an Irish pub by their hotel, which is one of the bars down there. And, you know, I frequent the LA bar scene.
With Shayna.
I know you do.
Well, and it's like, I've never had any problems there. I mean, yeah, sure, people talk and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, you can ignore those sort of things. Somehow he was talking himself up, got into an argument with one guy. Another guy came over and supposedly hit him with a bottle or punched him. And then that started, like, the other guys attacked him, and then Drew McIntyre stepped in. I guess it got both Drew McIntyre and Alberto Del Rio got pretty walloped in the bar fight, because I guess the guys were
Del
fairly
Rio
big
was the one who
guys,
was
so.
really showing it, though.
Yeah.
You didn't really see too much on McIntyre.
He had lumps on his head, but you know, you
Yeah.
obviously can't see that.
But he
on
was a
TV.
champion. How can you do that?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is back in like the 80s, they would have probably been fine. Their push would have been gone because the fact that pro wrestlers lost a bar fight, whether it was 30-on-1, I mean, you still, that gets out. You know, it kind of.
Where's your credibility?
Yeah, exactly. Especially in like in the 80s, you know, where it was more the realm of believability was there. So, you know, that's the thing. Is like, you know, the pro wrestlers, 2 of them getting beat up and just, I guess they look really, really, like just damaged when they came back to the hotel. They're trying to hide it so nobody could see it. So that's
amazing.
latest report that I heard about that, the latest update.
Alberto,
reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Alberto Del Rio's selling is phenomenal. The way he uses his face to sell.
You should have seen him selling that bar fight.
Yeah, well, I don't think he was selling then.
And another thing,
That's what
he's
taught him.
a former MMA fighter. He fought in Pride. I mean, a guy like that shouldn't lose a bar fight.
I mean, granted, he was like blindsided by a bottle. That's a little different.
Well,
but,
yeah.
I actually had a question for you guys. There was someone in this match that kind of bugged me, and you guys would know better than me. The double down in this match somehow was like Del Rio was out of the ring. He got knocked out of the ring, and Christian pretty much got up to his feet and double down inside the ring before Del Rio could even get in. It just seemed to me like the double down before Christian started making his comeback that he was just kind of standing there waiting for him. I don't know if that was just me or if you guys noticed that too.
That looked more like he was waiting for like almost like a count out victory, and he came in.
Okay.
But yeah, you probably know.
The heel should always be up before the face.
Right.
Is the way it technically should
Yeah.
go. But since he did roll out, it was like Christian was like waiting for him. But yeah, probably he just got up a little too early.
Okay.
He probably didn't mean to. I would imagine that as soon as Del Rio slid in the ring, he wanted to get up, but maybe he was slow sliding in. Maybe his eye hurt because his eye was bleeding. Like
Yeah,
something.
the other eye, not the one
right.
with the shiner, the other eye.
Yeah.
So he was all beat up.
Yeah.
And then this is just something that has always kind of bugged me a little bit about Del Rio. Why, when he goes for a super kick, does he lower his knee pad?
That gives him more power.
More flexibility.
Aerodynamic.
More flexibility. Actually,
flexibility.
That's actually a good answer.
You know what? Also,
I
it's like
I can accept that answer.
he doesn't wash his knee pads, so he wants them to get the whiff of that too, because that actually is the
They
last.
smell right.
Right.
Like butt cheese.
Oh God.
Yeah, getting back to that bar fight, street fighting is a totally different thing than MMA or wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Street fights are, no matter who you get in a street fight with, you're both going to get hurt.
Yeah.
If you hit somebody, you're going to hurt your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pull a muscle. They're going to get hurt. It's a whole different. You don't know where it's coming from, a chair, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
The key to a fight like that is just never go down. So once you go down, people kick you and hit you in the
key
face.
is, and a friend of mine, Albert Beckles of Mr. America, told me this just 3 weeks ago. The key to a street fight is walk away.
Yeah. Well,
And here's why. He says the guy can get all angry as he wants and he can cause a fight, but if you walk away, and the police come, you go home, you grab your beer, and you watch TV. The other guy goes to jail, and he has to ask to go to the bathroom. He gets arrested, right? So if you walk away, you're home free. If you start the fight and you create problems, the police come, you go to jail.
Yeah. And then in that jail, I mean, people have gone to the bathroom in there so much, it probably looks like rock formations.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably look like, people's ancestors. You can see like missing teeth in the formation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
In the walls.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on.
ADR, one of the things he did, like you could tell Christian was calling like the whole match. I could actually see him calling certain spots. Like when Alberto Del Rio jumped on him, he was going after his right arm, and you could hear him go wrong arm, and then he switched to the other arm when he had him draped over the ropes. And there's a lot of things I could hear Christian. He was actually very loud calling things this week. You can actually hear some of the things. So the camera picked it up.
Yeah. Del Rio gets to win, and then we have, again, same kind of setup that we had on Raw. Del Rio starts talking. Out comes Ricardo, bringing out his new client, RVD.
That's not going to work.
Ricardo and RVD.
Yeah. No, I mean, it may be up into the pay-per-view. Maybe I'm seeing a heel turn again by Ricardo Rodriguez to get but I don't know why they would do that.
It's not a matchup.
I'm not sure either. But yeah, more than likely that's leading to
because
RVD
he's an announcer, right?
He's not like he's a manager.
Yeah.
No,
like
he's the personal ring announcer.
Right.
He's not necessarily a manager. I haven't seen his managing license.
Well, he managed to make it down there.
Yeah, he did.
That was pretty witty, right?
That was good.
You guys aren't laughing in there.
We don't hear laughter in the booth.
You gotta be funny.
Oh, snap.
Zing.
Zing. Big Show Mark Henry against 3MB. I really thought 3MB had a chance here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they already in the ring.
What would the
guys
makers
already in
had
the ring.
that at like probably 1 billion to 1.
Yeah. Like, I'll put $1 on 3MB. Come on.
They're the established jobbers for every match.
I think they did have a better shot at beating Big Show and Mark Henry than the Raiders actually do of making the playoffs every year. That's going to cause some
What does
heat.
one have to do with the other?
No, because there's a lot of Raiders fans out there, and they're very
But these are
vocal
wrestling
about it.
fans.
Oh, they're Raiders fans, too.
The only way they would like the Raiders if there's a Raider 1 and Raider 2 with a mask on.
There used to be.
There used to be. That's why I said it.
Mexicali is called the Raider, and he would wear all Raiders gear, like a jersey, a mask. It was like he was in that black hole thing that they have at the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah.
Oh, that place is terrible. You got to park in the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shockingly, Big Show and Mark Henry win this match.
I know.
I call it an upset.
Yeah.
And then we get Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on the
We should go
Tentron.
into more detail on that match.
Yeah.
Should we?
About everything that happened.
We
should.
break down every detail of it?
Yeah.
All right, lead the way.
Okay. Big Show with the weapons
With the weapons of mass destruction.
for the finish.
Done.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
And then we get a nice promo, actually, I thought, from Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
Well, I wouldn't say it was nice. I mean, they were actually being kind of cruel.
Well, I thought nicely done.
Saying very awful things.
They sent me things. And
I was hurt at work
They
today.
made fun of 3MB, too. Roman Reigns at the beginning is just like, you guys wanted to make a statement, and you go out and beat 3MB? It's like, come on, I expected better out of you guys. But yeah, it's pretty much they're just letting Big Show Mark Henry know their clock's ticking, they're the future, all that stuff. And setting up another match, another pay-per-view match.
I would actually like to see 3MB against Ken Jugan, Swede Hansen, and SD Special Delivery Jones to see which
from
team
the
would
80s.
actually win. Who would actually win a match like that? I would be intrigued at that. I would actually watch that. Or put Renee Goulet in there instead of Ken Jugan.
God, do you remember Renee Goulet?
Yeah. With
a long time ago.
with the garden glove that he'd come out.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Don't forget about
Jose Luis Rivera.
Yeah. And who was the Iron Mike Sharp? He would just turn his
He
armband
became a winner.
Oh yeah, Barry O, Barry Horowitz.
That's funny because
The great Barry Horowitz. Come on.
their term for them was unsung heroes, is what Vince McMahon called them, instead of deliberately
Mulkey
saying
Boys.
jobbers.
Instead of jobbers, they're the unsung
The
heroes.
best jobbers around were the Mulkey brothers by far. They were these like albino guys that were far ahead of their time. They would take a clothesline and they would do like 2 flips. Everybody loved working the Mulkeys because they would always look good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Antonio Cesaro and Darren Young.
Yeah, straight out of the. Well, I'll let Rick say it.
No.
Come on, say it.
What? West Hollywood?
No, never mind.
Well, they are giving him because
He's
you know, a lot
getting
of
a
people,
push. Okay.
a lot of people are were wondering what was going to happen with that with him saying he came out, and it's good. I mean, they're actually giving him a push.
I think it's good.
That's a reason not to.
I think it was smart. You turn them babyface and you don't bring it up on WWE TV at all.
Exactly. They're serious wrestlers now. I noticed that the comedy, like before, he used to scream when he'd run in there and scream, and then he'd take something and he'd mess with his hair. But now it's like he was more serious. I mean, it's really a different side to him. Darren Young.
I like Darren Young.
Yeah.
And the thing, it's like I've got like I think it's very brave of what he did. I mean, like a lot of people are starting to do that now. But like Chris Kanyon did it back in the day.
Have you guys done it yet?
He's gonna do it. I mean, me, I'm not in there. But I keep knocking like, when are you gonna come out? But
Yeah.
But yeah, I find it just because Titus O'Neil has pretty much, like, the crowd already kind of has gotten to like him a lot, and Darren Young was just kind of there.
Yeah, he was the comedy on that team.
Right.
So.
And so now all of a sudden they're doing just a full-fledged face turn, and now everyone's getting behind Darren Young as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's great for them because I think they could go on and actually get a tag title run.
Right.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
We're in different days and different times now, and I
Yeah.
mean, like, that it's more common now, and people are like,
not a big deal.
It's more accepted now. I mean, like, if this was, I said this was the '80s. I mean, they would have just sent people to beat the guy. I mean, like, Rick Steiner would have been wrestling him one week, and then Scott Steiner the next, and then, things like that.
Things change.
Yeah, nowadays it's becoming accepted,
And
which is good for him.
oh yeah. Darren hits.
Rick didn't catch that.
I caught it. They're calling his finisher now the gut check.
Yeah.
And Darren Young defeats Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah.
In a singles
Clean.
match.
Notice those guys, Cesaro and
Swagger.
Swagger, they're not getting that push. They were like over the
Yeah.
top. Now that it's like they're losing every match.
They're almost
Cesaro
like
was a
3MB, but not.
And
so,
I like Cesaro. I think he's really good.
They're the
talented.
competitive 3MB.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But Darren Young, he took a bit of a beating. Did you see his mouth?
His mouth was completely
Yeah.
cut up.
I think it was from one of the uppercuts. He probably when you take that uppercut, you've got to keep your head straight. If you turn it slightly when
Yeah.
they're coming up, they'll clip you, and that's probably what happened. He probably turned his head slightly and got clipped with his forearm.
At the very beginning of the match, Cesaro kind of ran and drop kicked him in the face too. So it might have been like a combination of them.
Yeah.
He looked very strong, Cesaro. He always does.
Cesaro,
Looked aggressive, and he's very, very good. It's just sad that, I mean, they can't really find anything to do with him. They put him with Swagger just to see if it would stick, or maybe he could get some more heat or whatnot. But it's just not working. That combination does not work.
And they're already in the ring anyway for the introductions. I mean, that kind of shows you right there
Yeah.
that they're not as focused. I don't know if they do that time-wise, but I think this is the second time that they've had them actually in the ring, not come out for their introductions.
Yeah, it's
3MB
weird.
needs to get some, like, satin jackets, like all three satin jackets.
The old
'Cause,
baseball style
Yeah,
jackets.
remember the jobbers back in the day used to just come out with the jackets. Some of them would
shiny
actually
ones.
have, like, their name written, like, in
sure.
cursive on there
Embroidered.
that they did. Yeah.
I think they need to get a manager, and the guy's like a record executive somehow, and he's the one and he's kind of giving them a makeover, and maybe that actually will let him start.
Yeah, because the
doing
3MB
something.
doesn't mean anything. There's no music involved. They don't have
Right.
any instruments, and they're going
They're
three-man band.
air guitars.
Yeah, but I mean, it's but
Extraordinaire.
Still, I mean, it needs to play on something.
Yeah.
Fandango's
I
a
agree.
dancer.
Right.
He
Yeah.
can
I haven't
dance.
seen Fandango for a while.
No.
He was on Raw. They're starting the feud with Fandango and Miz.
Fandango.
Excuse me, Fandango. Ryback backstage.
Terrible.
This
terrible
was
segment.
awful.
Terrible acting
And I
on
hate
both.
saying that, but because I've enjoyed some of these backstage promos with Ryback's bullying character,
Yeah.
but this one was just terrible.
It was just.
Who was this with?
It was probably an indie worker. I don't know who it was.
Some local guy asking him for his autograph for his son.
Yeah.
And then the guy does not know who Ryback is.
How is he backstage?
How is he backstage?
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you get backstage? How do you approach this guy if you don't even know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says Ryback right there on his jacket too.
Yes.
So
It's like, what's your name? It's
Which guy
right
are you?
there.
It was
That would be
poorly
like
done.
looking at Rick and not knowing his name. His shirt. His name's right
Yeah.
on his shirt.
Yeah, poorly done. Acting was really bad. It was just it was hard to watch. Very
Yeah, I mean,
hard to
because like
watch.
the last few, I thought like the local guy that they've had has been entertaining.
Drake Younger.
Drake Younger and
he's
Christian Cole
Yeah.
was on Raw, and then there was
don't
whoever the
forget
guy was
Ryan.
at SummerSlam.
Oh, Ryan was on there, right?
He was in
Ryan
the
Cole.
background.
Oh, yeah, he was in the background at SummerSlam, and Phil, and Phil's VTech. They were in the background backing away from Ryback because they were afraid of him.
Now, what does this do? They have a anti-bullying campaign.
Yeah.
Now, what does this do? I mean, are they going to have somebody like maybe John Cena come in and say you're a bully and this is
That's
what?
right. It goes completely against it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they either have somebody go to him and say you're being a bully, we're going to stop you, or Ryback eventually realizes what he did was wrong and apologizes, which
Yeah.
I much prefer option A. But
Okay, it's
He
called.
writes a letter to
he writes an
everybody.
apologetic
Yeah.
letter
I think
to those
it's
people.
called "Be a Star," isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of odd that they would just contradict themselves that way with a character.
Yeah, unless they go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
Right. Vignette, which they started on Raw for a new tag team, Los Matadores,
Do you know who they are?
Primo and Epico.
Yeah.
They're repackaging.
Repackaging
But
Primo
I
and
think it's
Epico.
Mascara Sagrada. He's in developmental right now.
Okay.
And they're supposed to bring him in as a third guy, but they're not sure in what capacity he's going to do with them. But I heard they're going to have another, one of the matadors. It's going to be 3 of them, and he's going to be one of them.
So another trio?
Yeah.
We got a lot of trios.
Okay. It's like 3MB reimagined, maybe.
Well, no, 3MB, the Shield, the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
If Matadores is 3 people,
Aren't they doing something for a woman to come out with the Wyatts too?
No, you said that last time. No, they just have her like some girl sometimes is in the background. They're not doing anything.
Didn't he do a
for that.
promo about someone though, like a girl?
he just did a promo. I think it was only on their YouTube page where
okay.
he tells a story of his sister Abigail.
That's it. That's
and
the thing I saw, yeah.
that leads to the story of why he that's the name of his finishing move, and why he always kisses his opponent on the forehead before he delivers
Oh,
it.
gotcha. Okay,
It gets the storyline was I think dead sister.
gotcha.
Or
see,
that's what he called her.
SmackDown would have been much better had they had the Wyatts on there.
Oh, I love the
they
Wyatts
are
so
right now.
much.
Everything they do is gold.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love what they're doing. That wrestling needs that.
The only problem is it makes it harder to flush when everything they have, everything is gold like that.
Nobody even got that. Yeah.
There's no one. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, none. Like, why don't you
Sit on the
explain
couch.
yourself, or sit on the couch? Well, too bad Brennan wasn't here. He wouldn't say something that dumb.
Well, you said everything that they do is golden, like they're on the toilet, and it makes it hard.
You're still trying to defend yourself on
Yes, I am.
that.
And we still have, 20 minutes or so. I'm going to defend myself all 20 minutes.
No, actually, we don't. We
18.
have about 8 minutes.
Well, that's good because we're on the last.
We're
match.
on the main event. Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett in a steel cage.
Yeah.
What I do miss, I mean, it's kind of nice that they drop it, like the time. I know time-wise it makes it better, but Rick, you probably remember and appreciate this too. Is back like in the 80s and 90s when they showed them building the steel cages, like the anticipation you get from that.
Yeah.
You get kind of excited because you see them actually doing all the work.
Yeah, now you just
putting
see it
together.
slowly
they're
drop
not just
down.
I know they do that time-wise and everything.
You know what
but
I miss
kinda
about steel
that.
cage matches is the blood. It's like that's like the reason. I mean, I know they can't do it, but that's the reason why you would have a steel cage match.
It doesn't seem as barbaric anymore.
Yeah.
As soon as you would get your head thrown in, like they would tease getting their head thrown in the cage or even using it, and once they did, out comes the blood,
The metal.
buckets of it.
Red blood.
Yeah. So that's something that guess would probably make the two in there make it difficult for them because
Well,
they can't.
we know what wrestling is. It's what it is, and back in the day, it's what it was. But even today, when you take 5 or 6 punches, like you said, 3 punches to the face, you should see a red spot.
Yeah.
If it lands, you should see a
Right.
red spot.
Like for this match, I thought Daniel Bryan had great energy. I didn't think there was the cage was used enough for a cage match.
No, I agree.
I don't think it was a very good as a main event match. Just the chemistry, and we've seen this already. Wade Barrett is not like a legitimate contender for Daniel Bryan, and we all know that. So, to me, it was a very I'm not saying anything about the participants in there. They're both great wrestlers, especially Daniel Bryan is just phenomenal. It was just a very weak main event, especially being a cage match. There was really nothing to it.
Yeah, the cage match. The whole point behind that is, to prevent people from coming in and interfering, and also, to keep the person from leaving. Bailing out and getting counted out. There's a whole purpose.
This match had the whole build up to that had nothing. Had none of those elements. It didn't have like Daniel Bryan nor Wade Barrett has people coming in and attacking, either one of them, and even though the Shield did attack them when he came out, it's like for this match, like a cage match, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, when I was watching and they first announced the match, the little kid fan inside me was like, "Oh, cool, cage match on SmackDown." But then the grown up in me was just like, they haven't built anything up to have a cage in between them. Because they really haven't had a devastating long-term feud where you can only settle it inside the confines of the cage.
No man escapes.
It's like this would be something that would drive me crazy at indie shows. Was once the TLC matches got like popular, or even just the ladder matches, every single Fed would have a ladder match or TLC match, and for what? Like, I mean, with no build up to it, and the people in there, I mean, the possibility of getting hurt is much greater than in a regular match. But
sure,
the promoters just said, "Oh, I think this would be great." But the whole purpose of a ladder match would be because there was some sort of controversy in the championship belt. Like one guy belly to back, German suplexes the other, and the referee counts 3. But one guy got his shoulder up and the other guy didn't, but the ref didn't see it. Another ref did, but the referees don't know what to do. One saw one thing, one saw the other. They can't go into instant replay, so the title is vacated. It's going to be held up on a chain or whatever, and they're going to use a ladder to get it down. That's the whole purpose behind.
So those matches should be sponsored by Home Depot or Lowe's. I think it would be.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Well, because like the first main ladder match that happened on WWE was, correct me if I'm wrong, Michaels and Razor, where Shawn Michaels was like gone for a little while he was the Intercontinental Champion, and then they had some tournament where Razor won it, and then Michaels came back and was like, "Oh wait, there are 2 champions, so we have to decide who the one is." Hence the ladder match.
There should always be a reason for something. Not just because I think the fans will like it. It's like everything needs a build up. Like any story, you can't just have the killer get killed or find out who the killer is like right away, because who would even watch?
The whole point of the show is to have the build up.
Right.
Yeah, look at the Lord of the Rings. I mean, they walked around for 3 hours in that movie, and there's nothing that was accomplished.
That's why you go for the sequel.
Yeah, well, that's
and then Daniel Bryan gets the win, and as he goes out to celebrate, then Orton sneaks up
under the
ring and hits an RKO. So they're building that feud. But why, again, why is Barrett in the midst of it?
And in a cage.
Yeah, he's already lost, like you said, clean a couple times to him. So it really doesn't, that match meant nothing to either participant.
Right. And then SmackDown ends with Randy Orton standing over a fallen Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. I have a question.
Done.
Sure. Are you done with that part of it?
Yeah,
How can a guy go for a title match, and he wins the guy for the title, and he's standing there, and then someone runs in from the dressing room, hits the guy, goes and pins him, and all of a sudden he gets the title? He wasn't part of the match. He's just a run-in, and they give the title to the third guy. You see what I'm saying?
He cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase that they have.
They have they have the Money in the Bank. Actually, that's the thing. They have a briefcase up, suspended.
So anybody can run in and take that title at that moment.
Well, so whoever wins the Money in the Bank match, in this case it was Orton that won a few months ago, that means he can cash in and get a title match at any time he wants.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay,
and
like
a wild card
for up to a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could be like at 3 in the a.m.
Yeah.
The guys had too much. The champion has had too much to drink. He crashes in his hotel room. He brings a referee in with him.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
You're right.
New champion.
You're right. I get it.
So Orton cashed that one, and then Damian Sandow currently has the World Heavyweight title, Money in the Bank, which he has not cashed in yet.
Who has the Intercontinental one?
There's none for the Intercontinental U.S. or Tag Team or Divas.
Don't you find that odd? They should have one for all
every
of them.
title.
Yeah.
That might get a little excessive.
Yeah.
I mean, they have enough
the
titles as it
NWO.
is, let alone enough Money in the Bank briefcases. But that's how SmackDown ends, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
That's the last one I'll ever watch.
That's right.
Now it's off to new horizons.
Yeah.
Now it's Lucha Libre.
You should keep that recorded so that way you have that memento for you.
I watch it every. I watch it all the time.
You could actually do a review of AAA, but you could just use the WWE name. So you could say like, this week we had
I'm gonna redo
3MB finally won because they were some lucha tag team and like a mask, and
they all three pinned him at the same
I think I'll do the review on Final Destination 5 instead. There you go. Anyway, we're done, and we won't be back. Christian will be on Friday nights. You can catch me at Rick's Corner, number 1 and 2 now. Starting in September, I'll be doing wrestling reviews on Rick's Corner to rickdrasin.com or rickscorner.com. Christian will be moving to Friday night at 10.
Yep, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. And you can find me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. And also, next Sunday, the Insane Wrestling League presents New Era 8. It's pretty much their kind of WrestleMania live on Internet Pay-Per-View and Roku for only $3. Wrestler Michael Elgin will be there, the Young Bucks, B-Boy.
Who are those guys? I've never heard of them.
You never heard of them? Actually, Little Egypt is going to be there hosting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she'll be there as well, and I'll be calling the action. So hopefully you all will tune in next week.
And you guys, where can we find you?
We will be the 13th. We will be Friday the 13th for Vendetta Pro Wrestling. We make our return there, and just look. Pretty much, we'll be everywhere, and starting in September. So we'll,
Plus, every Sunday we'll weep that we're not seeing.
Well, we'll do a Rick's Corner too, and we'll talk wrestling there.
All right.
That's the way you can
we embrace while we're there?
We can do everything.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for watching SmackDown. We enjoyed it. Stay tuned next time to watch Christian on Friday nights at 10.
Gonna have to see his ugly face again.
Yeah, never again. And I've enjoyed it, and thank you very much for being viewers.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.